If you're over 60 and finding that your drive, sensation, and interest in intimacy are waning, it's not solely due to aging. There might be something more serious at play. Tiny blood vessels in your penis could be blocked, restricting circulation and gradually affecting your manhood. Here's the reality. Pills won't resolve the issues caused by obstructed veins, but nature can provide solutions if you know where to look. I'm Dr. James, a men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience. I've assisted thousands of men in reversing this silent decline that rarely gets discussed, helping them reclaim a crucial aspect of their identity. What if the remedy lies not in your medicine cabinet, but in 4 neglected herbs that enhance blood flow and restore sensitivity from within? These herbs not only boost circulation, but also revive intimacy, energy, and confidence. Let's examine each one and discover how older men are naturally transforming their lives. Before we delve into these potent herbs, ensure you subscribe and click the bell so you won't miss any tips that could rejuvenate your health, energy, and intimacy. If this resonates with you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and let me know how I can assist you better. Now let's uncover the 4 herbs your body has been yearning for, the ones that may restore the blood flow, sensitivity, and confidence you thought were lost forever. First, ginseng, the catalyst for blood flow and desire. After 30 years of hearing from men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s, I can tell you that behind every sigh of frustration and every moment of doubt in the bedroom lies a deeper question. Am I still a man? You are, but when blood flow diminishes and sensation fades, it's easy to forget that truth. This is where ginseng plays a role, not as a miracle cure, but as a time-tested natural remedy. Referred to in Eastern medicine as the man root, panax, ginseng has been used for over 2,000 years to reignite male vitality, particularly concerning blood flow, desire, and endurance. Let's clarify, this isn't merely an energy supplement, it acts as a catalyst for circulation. In older men, ginseng helps relax and widen blood vessels, particularly the small, delicate ones crucial for the pelvic area. These vessels often narrow with age, limiting oxygen, sensation, and response. Many men attribute this to age or stress, but the truth is, their arteries aren't delivering as they used to. Ginseng contains natural compounds called ginsenosides that stimulate nitric oxide production, a critical molecule for opening blood vessels and promoting stronger blood flow. In essence, ginseng helps clear the blockages in your veins, restoring healthy circulation not just to your heart and brain, but to the most intimate parts of your body, those that define connection, masculinity, and confidence. I recall a man named Walter, 68, recently retired, married for over 40 years. He approached me, visibly embarrassed, saying, "Doc, I feel disconnected from my wife. It's like I'm here, but part of me is missing." I recommended a high-quality Korean red ginseng extract, 600 milligauss each morning. 3 weeks later, he looked me in the eye and said, "I feel awakened again, my mind, my body, my marriage. Everything feels lighter now." The change wasn't magic, it was blood flow. That's the power ginseng provides to aging men. It enhances not only performance, but also presence, clarity, warmth, and a sense of capability. However, not all ginseng is created equal. You need a clinically tested, adequately standardized type, not something you find at a convenience store or buried in a multivitamin. Look for Korean red panax ginseng, ideally standardized to at least 5% ginsenosides. When taken consistently, it supports cardiovascular health, combats fatigue, and most importantly, restores pelvic circulation that fuels intimacy. So if you've been feeling distant or disconnected, ginseng could be the key to revitalizing your blood flow, confidence, and desire. Yet, ginseng is merely the beginning. While it ignites the engine, The next herb I'll discuss keeps the fuel flowing exactly where you need it. It targets the same enzyme that popular blue pills do, but does so naturally. Are you ready to find out what it is? If you're still with me and this message resonates, type 1 in the comments to show you believe your best years are still ahead. Next, we have horny goat. Not merely a joke, but a secret for circulation. Many men chuckle upon hearing the name horny goat, thinking it sounds like a gimmick rather than a serious medical term. However, as a doctor who has spent over 3 decades helping older men regain their health and confidence, I can honestly say this herb has become one of my most effective recommendations for restoring circulation and sexual vitality. Its actual name is epimedium, and its active component is a potent compound called Icariin. This isn't folklore, this is science. Icariin works by inhibiting the PDE5 enzyme, the same enzyme targeted by medications like Viagra. However, instead of forcing the body into abrupt action with potential side effects, horny goat weed collaborates with your body, gradually and gently restoring blood flow and sensitivity in a natural rhythm. For men over 60, this is crucial, because as we age, blood vessels, especially the tiny ones in the penis, begin to narrow, harden, and lose elasticity. This means that even when the mind is willing, the body may not respond as it once did. The communication between the brain and body weakens, making intimacy feel more like a struggle instead of a shared connection. I recall a patient, Glenn, 72, a proud man who worked in construction for 45 years. He told me, "Doc, it's not about performance, it's about closeness. I just want to feel connected to my wife again." I started him on a quality horny goat weed extract, standardized to at least 10% Icariin, and advised him to give it a month. At his follow-up, he said with quiet pride, "It wasn't sudden, but it was real. It felt like the lights came back on." That's what this herb does. It doesn't create artificial heat. It restores natural blood flow, especially in areas that older men tend to overlook. The results may be subtle at first: improved morning stiffness, a warmer feeling of responsiveness, emotional reconnection, but over time, the change becomes undeniable. Horny goat weed also has a remarkable secondary benefit. It gently boosts testosterone while lowering cortisol, the stress hormone that quietly diminishes desire. For men grappling with the burdens of retirement fears, health concerns, or emotional distance, this hormonal balance is not just helpful, it's essential. If you're considering it, here's what matters. Use it daily in the correct dosage, around 250 to 500 milliliters of extract with at least 10% Icariin. And don't expect overnight miracles. Anticipate something better, a gradual return to vitality, warmth, and connection. This is how nature heals, not through fireworks, but in the steady resurgence of blood flow and self-worth. For men who feel they've quietly faded, this herb helps amplify life's volume again. But here's the real surprise. While horny goat gets the blood flowing again, the next herb takes it even further, revitalizing circulation at the microscopic level, deep within the tiniest vessels where sensation and pleasure start. Curious? You should be. If you're still tuned in and these insights resonate, type 1 in the comments to let me know you're still here, still listening, still learning, and still choosing to move forward. Now let's continue with point number 3, Ginkgo biloba, the forgotten flow booster. I'll be honest, when most older men hear the name Ginkgo biloba, they think of memory or perhaps a brain supplement they tried once. What they don't realize is that ginkgo's most significant benefit isn't just for the mind, it's for the blood vessels that nourish both the brain and the body, especially the tiny vessels that subtly influence intimacy. These blood vessels, particularly the smallest and most delicate ones in your system, are crucial. They're the ones in your pelvic region that determine whether blood can reach the tissues responsible for arousal, sensation, and connection. Unfortunately, they are also the most susceptible to age, plaque, and time. That's where ginkgo shines. This age-old herb, used for centuries in Eastern medicine, acts like a natural blood thinner and vessel opener, enhancing something we call microcirculation, the ability of blood to reach the tiniest pathways in your body. When these pathways become blocked or narrow, desire alone won't suffice. The response simply won't materialize. I've witnessed this countless times in my practice. One man, 70 years old, an ex-military man who appeared healthy on paper, came to me feeling frustrated and bewildered. His weight was fine and his lab results were decent, but he said, "I just feel numb, like my body has stopped communicating with me." I started him on a clinical dose of ginkgo, around 120 milliliters RB twice a day, and we waited. By week 4, he reported increased energy. By week 6, he shared something even more significant. "Doc, it's like I can feel again, not just physically, but emotionally too." That's the essence of circulation. It doesn't merely pump blood, it rejuvenates sensation, emotion, and confidence. Once blood flow is restored, your entire presence changes: how you walk, how you speak, and how you connect with your loved. 1. Ginkgo also aids in oxygen delivery to tissues, reduces inflammation in aging vessels, and has even been shown to enhance erectile function in men with circulation-related issues. No blue pill can achieve all of that without side effects. Ginkgo does it gently, naturally, and over time. But consistency is key. Ginkgo isn't about instant results. It's about reopening pathways so your body can respond again, not artificially, but genuinely. Think of it as unblocking forgotten roads that haven't seen traffic in years. With time and care, they come back to life. If you've lost sensation, or if intimacy feels dull or disconnected, ginkgo may be the herb your body has been missing. It doesn't force desire, it makes it possible once more. To me, that's more valuable than any prescription, yet the most intriguing part of this journey is still to come. While ginkgo restores blood flow to the smallest vessels, the next herb I'll share actually revitalizes hormonal signals, the ones that inform your body that it's still alive, still wanted, and still capable. This one surprised even me. Tribulus terrestris, the male rejuvenator. There is something profoundly personal about a man's vitality. It's not just about energy or performance, it's about identity. When that energy diminishes, particularly after 60, it can feel like a slow erasure of who you once were. I've had numerous men sit in my office, their voices low and eyes heavy, sharing the same sentiment in the various ways. "I just don't feel like myself anymore." That's why I often turn to Tribulus terrestris, a humble herb with a remarkable ability to restore what time and stress have gradually taken away. At its core, Tribulus acts as a natural hormonal activator. It doesn't flood your system with synthetic testosterone or disrupt your internal balance. Instead, it signals the body, specifically the pituitary gland, to increase luteinizing hormone, which in turn prompts your testicles to ramp up natural testosterone production. As testosterone levels rise naturally, everything else begins to change. Blood flow improves, muscle tone sharpens, mood brightens, and intimacy no longer feels like a distant memory. What truly sets Tribulus apart for older men is its capacity to reawaken vascular tone, strengthening the blood vessels that deliver oxygen and nutrients to your pelvic area, thereby enhancing circulation in ways that restore not only performance, but also presence. That sluggish feeling, the lack of sensation, the absence of warmth and responsiveness during intimate moments is often a direct result of poor blood flow and hormonal decline. Tribulus tackles both aspects. I recall a man named Richard, a 74-year-old widower who had just embarked on a new relationship. He expressed, "I didn't think I'd ever feel that spark again. I thought those days were behind me." We began with a moderate dose of Tribulus, 500 milliliters daily, standardized to 45% saponins. Over 6 weeks, he returned a different man, not younger, but more alive. "It's like I'm back," he said. Tribulus isn't a shortcut. It's not a drug. It's a gentle nudge, a reminder to your body that it still knows how to be strong, responsive, and engaged. When used consistently, it enhances libido, supports erectile function, and boosts stamina while promoting a better mood and motivation. It also benefits heart function and circulation, making it a holistic solution for men who wish to feel more grounded, capable, and intimate. Perhaps most importantly, it restores a sense of hope. Once your hormones begin to balance and blood flows freely again, your mind follows. You don't just feel better physically, you start to feel more connected, emotionally present, and confident in your own skin. For men who have quietly endured suffering, Tribulus can mark a turning point. It reminds you that you're not finished, not broken, and not past your prime. You just needed the right support, and now you've found it. Now that you've seen how each of these 4 herbs functions powerfully in its own right, one opens the vessels, another fuels the engine, one clears the path, and one restores the signal. It's time to bring it all together. The real transformation occurs when they work in harmony. In conclusion, you're not finished. You're merely beginning. If you've stayed with me this long, you understand something that far too many older men have forgotten. Intimacy, strength, and connection don't have an expiration date. They don't vanish at 60 or retire at 70. They fade only when we neglect to provide our bodies with what they truly need to thrive. We've discussed 4 remarkable herbs: ginseng, horny goat weed, ginkgo biloba, and Tribulus terrestris. Each plays a unique and powerful role in supporting your health, not just physically, but emotionally and intimately. These herbs don't mask symptoms like a quick-fix drug. They nourish the system, restore blood flow, reawaken sensitivity, and support the very hormones that fuel your vitality. What I want you to take away is this: your body isn't failing you. It's asking for support. It has been whispering for years, trying to convey that circulation is slowing, hormones are shifting, and certain signals aren't reaching their destinations as they used to. These herbs provide answers, not hype, not miracles, but genuine time-tested tools that resonate with your body. I've seen men in their 60s who believed their best days were behind them, men in their 70s who had quietly surrendered their connections, and men in their 80s who were merely biding their time. However, when they began addressing the core issues, blood flow, hormonal balance, and emotional reconnection, something beautiful unfolded. They came back to life, not in a dramatic or flashy manner, but with quiet confidence. They started walking taller, smiling more, reaching for their partner's hand again, and feeling present and proud in their own skin. I share this not as someone trying to inspire false hope, but as a doctor who has walked this path with hundreds of men just like you. Aging is real, and slowing down is normal. But disappearing, feeling invisible, and losing that inner spark is not your destiny. Nature has gifted us powerful allies. Science has validated them, and your body is still capable of responding if you give it the chance. Perhaps it starts with one change, one bottle, one conversation with your partner, or one step toward believing that this chapter of your life doesn't have to be dull, silent, or disconnected. It can be rich, warm, and authentic. You're not finished, you're not broken. You're simply being called to remember the strength, sensitivity, and life that still resides within you. So if this message resonated with you, if something stirred within you today, don't let it fade. Take action, stay curious, talk to your doctor, and most importantly, listen to your body because it's still speaking and it still wants to live. If this message meant something to you, don't keep it to yourself. Hit the like button to let others know they're not alone. Subscribe and activate the bell so you won't miss another life-changing health tip tailored for men like you. And in the comments type, "I'm not done," if you're ready to reclaim your strength.